Well, absolute scenes here at Gaddafi Stadium. Quetta Gladiators snatching a victory from the jaws of defeat against the Karachi Kings after being bowled out for 142. No one really gave them a chance to try and defend that, but defend it they did off the back of some brilliant fielding and bowling. A whole bowling utility getting involved. Wasim Jr. the best, 2 for 22. Amir 2 for 26, and Sal Shakil as well chipping in with a wicket there. And tell you what, Tim Seifert and James Vince looked like they were going to take the game away, but a beautiful effort in the field by Quetta Gladiators got the job done and almost lost Viv's arm in the process. He was fist bumping and getting excited so much. Welcome to the Pitchside studio. Looking forward to unpacking all of the drama alongside of my wonderful guests, Mark Butcher and Amir Sahel. Gentlemen, have you caught your breath? My word, I did not think Karachi could do that, but it was peak Karachi behaviour, Butch, wasn't it?
It was peak Karachi, yeah. Karachi, calamitous Karachi this evening. I mean, ninth over, 77 for 1, absolutely flying, dew on the ground, pitch absolutely flat as a pancake, and Quetta seemingly out of any idea whatsoever. James Vince then gives Riley Rousseau a couple of goes at catching him in extra cover, and suddenly the whole thing turns on its head. It was quite extraordinary. No one has defended a total as low as 142 here at Lahore in the history of the PSL, and Quetta Gladiators, my goodness, they did it.
Amir, is this not the blueprint of never say die in this format of the game? What a fight back by the Quetta Gladiators.
Amazing, amazing. Look, you know, this is a sort of a format where 2 overs mean a lot. It can change the course of the game in no time, and that's what we saw. And those overs, what I'm talking about is when Shan Masood arrived at the crease and the leg spinner was able to strangle him. Those 17 deliveries, I thought, amplified the pressure, and from there on, whatever the opportunity was created by the bowlers, it was held beautifully and stunningly by the fielder. So if I have to ascribe this victory to any facet of the game, it has to be the fielding. Yes, there was a drop catch. I know, I remember that. But fielding was absolutely brilliant.
It was absolutely brilliant. Butch, where was it won and lost for you for Karachi?
I think there was a passage of play there. There was the James Vince dismissal in the over from Shazad. Then Shan Masood's innings, 17 deliveries for 9. Everything just came to an absolute standstill. Tim Seifert at the other end of it going magnificently, got starved of the strike and then holed out off Wasim Jr. And from there on in, they were so far behind the 8 ball, having been so far in front of it, that they never ever regained any sort of momentum. And Amir rightly says, from that moment on, suddenly a team that had looked beaten in the first 7-8 overs of the defence suddenly came alive. The fielders were diving everywhere. Catching was superb. Sword had a great game as captain, and I think Abra's spell of one for, it was only 1 wicket, but he went for 15 runs in 4 overs through that middle period there, and just absolutely stalled Karachi Kings' run chase. That was where it was won and lost for me.
Oh man, the chase was an absolute hell of a ride. It was an absolute roller coaster. Let's relive the fall of wickets of Karachi now.
Well, David Warner was first to go. I mean, he's a little culpable. Very first over of the game, holds out at mid-off. Riley Rousseau then takes another one. That was the period where he got rid of Vince, having given him a chance in the first place. Seifert then holed out straight afterwards, and then suddenly the panic set in. This is absolutely stunning from Kusal Mendes behind the stumps. Brilliant diving catch, followed up by another awesome catch at slip by Sword off Abra. And from there on in, it was a procession of wickets. Every time the ball went in the air, you thought a Quetta Gladiators fielder was going to be underneath it. Mohammad Wasim Jr. bowled superbly. Kuram came back fantastically as well after getting a lot of stick in his early overs. Every decision seemed to go their way, and Karachi just could not dig themselves out of it at all. And you just see the spirit building in the Gladiators lineup. Mohammad Wasim Jr., he's really impressed me because he had an issue with balls sliding down the leg side often, but he's managed to straighten his lineup with that natural inward movement to be able to hit the stumps. And look at Sir King Viv. Look at him go. He was absolutely, he was like a cheerleader out there. We should have given him some pom-poms, the big lad.
I was worried he was going to throw his shoulder out, Amir. Wasn't he
I mean,
brilliant?
he's always animated. Whether his team is down and out, he's always encouraging them. He's actually plugged in. So it's great to see Sir Vivian Richard still being himself.
It wasn't. He's just brilliant. Absolute. I think 10 points to Cheerleader Viv, but I wouldn't mind having him cheering me on in the dugout either. One of the greatest the game ever produced. And didn't they give him something to yell and scream and cheer about when the turning point of the game happened in the second innings?
Yeah, that should have been taken, but it wasn't, I would say, impeded the progression of that bowling effort from the Quetta Gladiators, and after that he held it quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, Riley Rousseau has been having a pig of a time with the bat and dropped that catch and then gets an opportunity, would you believe it, just 2 balls later. Even he looked slightly surprised to have been given the chance. He just about held onto it. It almost popped out of his hands. But that, for me, was the turning point. Vince going great, Vince suddenly gone.
Riley Rousseau not in the runs today, but caught the entire top order. Brilliant by him in the field. He was our turning point. But stick with us on the other side of this very short break. One of the absolute screamers of the tournament so far, Kusal Mendes behind the stumps, will be joining us. Well, welcome back to the Pitchside studio, unpacking all of the epic drama we just saw when Quetta Gladiators snatched a defeat from the Karachi Kings. And here to chat to us about just exactly how they went about that from the inner sanctum itself, it's Kusal Mendes, the wicket-keeper batter on behalf of Quetta Gladiators. Kusal, welcome. Thank you so much for chatting to us today. When you walked in at the innings break, did you really think that you'd be able to defend that small total?
Yeah, everyone have a good plan in the bowling, and I think everyone knows how to bowl in the wickets. Then I think everyone believed we can do it. Then everyone said we can do it. Suddenly take 2-3 wickets earlier, game is changed. Then I think we are bowling side bowl really well. I think everyone very happy to plan is going well. Then I think plan is done. I think that's why we can win the game.
With the bat as well, 36 off 22, you were the first one that really started finding some success in the conditions out there. How did you actually find them? Because we all thought it was going to be an absolute belter and it wasn't easy to get away.
Yeah, I think earlier new ball a little bit hard to play and a little bit swing. I think that's why they going 2-3 wickets earlier. Then I think I played my normal game a little bit, take a time and look at the wickets, and I think I batted really well in that situation. I'm very happy to my inning. Then I scored the 36 runs. I hope I get 50 runs and I think better score. Then unfortunately I get out 36. Then I very happy to my inning.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. You took a stunning catch behind the stumps. It was great at that moment. But tell me how much contribution you had in those deferrals, which was successful.
Yeah, I think my best catch in today. I hope that was the best one. I think very important catch. Then we have a small partnership in middle order. Then I think game is changed. I take a catch. I think I'm very happy in players. Everyone said a very good catch. Thank you. Then I think I'm very happy to my catch.
And did you say anything to the captain to go and take those referrals?
Sorry.
Those referrals when umpire gave it not out?
Yeah, I think I think I saw that a little bit catch is okay. Then I run and I said I think I out. Then I saw the screen. Then little bit hand is low. Then I think he take a very good catch and.
You're absolutely brilliant behind the stumps, but the one that you took today was a stunning effort. I wanted you to watch it back because you probably don't get to see it too often, but have a little look for the highlights reel. Does this make your top 10? Oh. Walk us through what you're thinking.
I'm also surprised.
The reaction time, is that your favourite side, to the left, or you prefer it to the right?
Right side is my favourite side.
So not even your dominant side?
Yeah.
And it was almost behind you as well, wasn't it, when you grabbed it?
His footwork was amazing. He took his left leg back, and that's why he was able to pull that one.
Yeah, ball is coming in. Then I'm going to a little bit the right side. Then I'm coming again the left side.
I think the look on your face is just brilliant as well. You always look shocked that you've taken that. But Amir, you and I have seen this man in full flight in the LPL. We know how damaging he can be with bat, obviously behind the stumps. I still feel like we've yet to see that big 100 that we saw at LPL this year. We know what he's capable of.
He possesses so much of talent, and his wrist work is amazing. And I would like to see him scoring hundreds, and he's batting at number 4. He's got the potential.
Would you like to open if you were given the chance? I know it's a hard question because I'm sure you're going to say yes, but...
I like open, but team guys who want to play number 4, then I'm okay. I can manage, and normally when I play national team, I'm earlier. I think I play number 4, then I can manage. I think number 4. It's okay.
He's very shy, isn't he?
Yeah, very humble, absolutely. And the conditions in Pakistan, different to Sri Lanka, obviously, not seeing as much spin as we usually see in our T20 matches. But how are you finding the conditions, and what's been the biggest challenge for you with your game?
Yeah, of course. Compared to in Sri Lanka, a little bit good wicket in Pakistan normally. A little bit seam in a new ball. Then I think very, very lucky to batters in a play here. Reason is wicket wise very good, and with decent fast bowlers they have in Pakistan. Then I'd like to play fast bowlers, and then normally I use the pace and I play. I think I'm very happy to come and play here my first PSL tournament this year. I am very happy, and pitchers and fast bowlers, my teammates and everyone. I enjoy the PSL.
And who in your team has impressed you the most? Who scares you in the nets?
Normally everyone bowl in the bounce and Yorkers, everything. When I play in the nets, very hard to play in fast bowlers. Then I think everyone very good.
And did you ever think that you get to have Sir Vivian Richards be your mentor in a side? How does that feel to get to be alongside one of the greats of the game?
Yeah, of course. So every day tell him the positive things. Then he believe we have a very good team. Then every time he said we have a very good team, everyone can do it. Then he every time say that we can win the game. Then I think he give more positive things. I'm very happy to work with him.
Has he given you any suggestion to improve your batting, Sir Vivian Richards?
Yes, sometimes he give the not much talk. Then he sometimes give the small things. And I not right now. I think I can't do it right now. Then I'm going to Sri Lanka. I can work and I can do it.
That's so exciting. And Muhammad Amir as well, with feisty fast bowler. Some of these guys who've been around for such a long time. What's it like to get to rub shoulders with them as well and get to practice against them, because you'd be learning so much as well from your teammates who are bowling at you?
Yeah, of course. He played a lot of T20 matches, international matches. I played with him in Sri Lanka Premier League also. And he bowled a lot in the practice nets. He bowled Yorkers, wide Yorkers. He every day come to the nets and bowling. I think he played so many matches, but he come to his homework. I think I've learned a lot of things. I think he's a very good guy and experienced guy. I think I'm very happy to play with him. I think every youngest can learn so many things than he do in practice and matches when I watch it.
Oh gosh, isn't he just the best? So humble. It's so lovely to talk to you.
So Sri Lankan.
Absolute gem. Kusal Mendes, I feel like we're just starting to see the best of you in this comp. I look forward to seeing what you do with Quetta Gladiators in the coming weeks. Thank you so much for your time. We'll let you go. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Fist bump from afar. All right, ladies, gents and friends watching at home, we're off to a very short break here in the Pitchside studio, but there's still so much more to come, so stick with us and we'll see you very shortly. Sure that you joined us back at Pitchside Studio, looking back at all of the action that just unfolded when the Quetta Gladiators had a huge win across the Karachi Kings. And must have been something I said, but we've got a brand new studio alongside me with the guests, Sarush Mumtaz and Martin Guptill. Welcome. I'm going to have to get some opening thoughts from you both on what we just saw. It was as Butch said, peak Karachi, Aruj. I mean, It was a bit of a capitulation. What did you make of what we just saw?
Yeah, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot, right? From 77 for 1. They found ways to keep stuffing it up, and it wasn't quite nice. And you've got the quality of players of Shan Masood, and you see that laboured innings of 9 of 17. Yes, you can pin it down to some really good bowling, but I think apart from the good bowling, it was more Karachi with really poor shot selections, not quite understanding the tempo of the game, and really, really stuffing this one up.
Yeah, it was not a good win. David Warner pretty upset, it has to be said, at the way that chase was facilitated by the batters. Marty, if you had to kind of go back into the dressing room as a captain and try and assess what happened and make inroads to improve for the next match, what do you make of what we just saw?
Yeah, I guess they were just one more partnership away from winning that game with the bat. They had the game home and hosed, Seifert and James Vince going so well, and then Vince gets out, and then a period of just, I don't want to say bad batting, but they just couldn't get the ball away. They couldn't rotate the strike, which then provided a false shot from Tim Seifert, and then from there the game just sort of got away from them quite rapidly. If Seifert had stayed there for another maybe 2 overs and just batted, normally didn't have to hit 4s and 6s in that, but he could have controlled the rest of that innings, and he could have been the one to see it through. Unfortunately for Karachi, he wasn't able to do that tonight, and that's where it sort of lost for them.
A question for you both, because it seems like wickets are a bit contagious in these sorts of situations. What's it like in the dressing room when this kind of collapse starts happening after it looks like it's one-way traffic?
Yeah, I think it's important to sort of keep your nerves, because there's a lot of energy that feeds off each other. When you've got so many experienced players, you've got leaders within the rights, you just need level heads within the camp. The last thing you want is the dugout. What's happening in the middle is happening in the middle, right? It's for the two out there to sort it out. But you don't want that energy to sort of feed back into the dressing room, or just, sort of negative thoughts going through there. So I just feel, you just felt every time a new Karachi batter came in, they were slightly jittery, slightly nervous. We keep touching on Shan in innings because he came up at an important position. But again, he tried the reverse a couple of times. It was just about getting it in the middle of the bat, just knocking it down like Guppy says, for 1s and 2s. It was more than a runner ball, the other way around, in fact. And you want to get home comfortably, but they found ways to get out and just keep mounting pressure on themselves.
Any PTSD from situations where that's happened in games you've been a part of, Guffy? Problem is you're in there first, maybe, or still out there dealing with it.
Yeah, I'd like to be the one that's dealing with it and actually guiding the team through that sort of situation. But, as a spectator, when you're sitting there, if you're already out and things like that, you sort of go through you're still pretty jovial, things are going well, and you lose a couple of wickets and you sort of think, oh, okay, it's getting a bit closer, and you lose a couple more and you sort of go back into your shell and things get really nervy in the dressing room, and then you just sort of sit there with a bit of disbelief towards the end and think, how did we actually get to this position? Unfortunately for Karachi, that happened quite quickly for them tonight.
Imagine Sir Vivian Richards is your mentor and you have to go into that dugout and he has to look you in the eye and go, brother, what?
He wouldn't stop there, would he?
No, I don't think he would. Well, you played for Quetta, so you would have had him as a mentor, Guffy.
Yeah, well, that year he wasn't actually there. He had something else, another commitment on that he couldn't come. So
Devo.
it was, I was really looking forward to having that sort of, making that relationship with him and getting some advice off him and things like that. But it wasn't to be that year.
It was an interesting chat. Me and Marina walked up to him prior to the start of the game, and he was, again, his jovial self, massive smile on his face. So I said, well, how's your day been? He's like, we'll find out tonight, won't we?
I was genuinely concerned he was going to throw his shoulder out with how much he was fist bumping and getting excited. I love the emotion and how much he genuinely rides every single game and how much he loves coming here to the HBLPSL every year.
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't it? When you're in the Caribbean Premier League as well, all those guys are the same. They ride the highs and the lows of winning and losing games. So, it's no wonder, he was so pumped up tonight and absolutely fizzing to get that win.
All right, well, let's take a little look at who the player of the match was, because it's not often it goes to a bowler, particularly in these beautiful conditions today, but Abracadabra Ahmed was just brilliant tonight.
Yeah, you're right, Erin. Not often someone who's got figures of 4 for 15 with just the one wicket, but it was him. After that squeeze came on, Nabi and Shan were on the crease, they just couldn't get him away. Didn't go for a single boundary. Massive control over that length, and he picked up that one wicket as well. I thought he was really, really clinical.
Goes to show that impact means more than just the number of wickets and the number of runs that go for. So congratulations to him on that performance. But Martin, I have to give highly commended to Hassan Ali. 3 for 33, 2 wickets in his first over, putting Quetta Gladiators on the back foot early. It's almost wrong he was on the losing side today, to be honest.
Yeah, he was fantastic, wasn't he? You know, he's found that zip again with his bowling. You know, the flowing locks going. It's almost like a Ramiz Raja haircut, isn't it?
Fabio, the most beautiful man in the world.
But no, it was fantastic. He bowled a really nice line and length. Maybe got a little bit lucky with his first wicket, the short and wide one, cut straight to point. But, you know, that can happen in cricket. You know, you win some, you lose some. But he bowled fantastically. His first over was magical. Just bowled a nice heavy length where it was difficult to get away, let the ball and the pitch do the rest of the work for him.
Well, he was the second leading wicket taker before tonight, but he jumped straight to the top of the Faisal Mahmood cap as well. It's just wonderful to see him back in the wickets, Arouge. He was already the leading wicket taker in the entire history of the tournament, but he sits top in this season with 13 poles so far. Yeah,
you and I spoke to him at one of the post shows in Karachi, and the way he's talking about it, he's feeling far more confident with himself, his fitness. He's eyeing and come back in the national side as well, and those numbers definitely will be banging on some doors. The other thing as well, I think we talk about batting in partnerships, hugely important for him to be bowling in partnerships. And I think Mir Hamza with that left arm angle is just providing him that partnership, and they just feed off brilliantly from each other. And I think this is really good. Don't forget, they play on the same domestic side as well, so they know each other really well. And I just feel that confidence oozes out of both of them.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about batting partnerships all the time in terms of T20 cricket, but bowling partnerships are just as crucial, Guppy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if one guy's going for runs at one end, you know it's your job to be able to try and stem that flow at the other end and try and get your mate back into the game as well, and vice versa. So, you know, when you both bowlers are going well, you know, it's pretty hard as batters to actually get on top of the bowlers and take the game on.
And that's probably where Abrar Ahmed and his player of the match performance, Arouge, comes into play, because 1 for 15, yes, 1 wicket, but how many wickets did he bring as a result of how he was constricting the batters at the other end?
Yeah, far more than the one that it shows. Again, it's something that his ride has been tough as well. He sat on the bench for the Pakistan side, warming benches where a lot of people thought he should have played. Yes, obviously he will learn, but I just feel his control over length and how he's understood his game. There was a point where he would bowl really, really quickly and try all variations possible. I think he's just realised that he just needs to hold that length properly, maybe vary the pace and just keep it line tight with the stump. So I think really good. His glasses are gone. He's put on lenses. He says he can see clearly a little bit better. Maybe that helps. I don't know. But he's a good guy. He's a really keen learner as well, and that's one thing I really like about him.
I think the mullet's here to stay if he's superstitious as well. He's not going to be cutting those mane anytime soon. Hassan Ali just brilliant with the ball. But in terms of the batting, well, Tim Seifert, it's an absolute Kiwi infestation, I'm going to say, at the moment. There's so many Kiwis here, Martin Guptill, but let's take a little look at how Tim Seifert almost took the game away with his many boundaries this evening.
He's got that new high backlift now, Tim Seifert, and just stands still and swings through the line of the ball. I mean, he got some length he was able to work with. That's a lovely hook shot there. One, he just managed to skewer over mid-off and race away for a boundary, giving himself room. You know, he just hit all around the park tonight, didn't he? Bit of brute strength there. Slapped that one through cover. Lovely cricket shot there to be able to get the 4 over mid-off, and then another bit of brute strength to hit over mid-off into the stand.
Yeah, 5 4s, 2 6s, Arouge. He was threatening to take the game away there for the Quetta Gladiators.
Yeah, and something that Karachi Kings have required is most of the games that they won, one of their top has scored. We saw James Vince score 100 in that first game. Warney scored 60 odd in that third game that they won. And today, obviously, they come out on the losing side. But I think it's important that they can have their top order fire in. Again, Guppy mentioned brute strength. That's what he has. He got obviously that split faff type grip as well. Again, had he not gotten out, and I think again where the game was, the pressure coming on because of how Quetta put the squeeze on, he just lost his wicket at a crucial moment. Could have been the difference, but I think really good knock.
And dare I say too, Martin, obviously overseas you can only play 4 per side. It becomes this real tussle between what the making of the playing 11 is. How does he fit in? We were all thinking perhaps he wouldn't even play tonight because Kane Williamson has landed. Bit of a fire in the step, bit of impetus to go, well, I'll keep my spot, throw himself around with the gloves and, you know, hit some valuable runs.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good year in T20 cricket this year, Tim Seifert. I mean, look what he did in the Big Bash. He had some really good innings there for the Melbourne Renegades. He's scored some really good runs at home in the Super Smash and in our one-day competition as well. So, he's coming off the back of some good form. And obviously, Kane does what Kane does. They both of them do it very differently. Tim Seifert's more about the high strike rate, where Kane is, more about the placement and the batsmanship of that comes with T20 cricket. So they can both do a job and do it very differently. And I'm just lucky that I'm not Ravi Bopara and have to make that call.
Well, they'll be ruining what could have been the Karachi Kings, and they only had 142 on the board to chase down. And that was part and parcel thanks to Fahim Ashraf and some of those super sixes he hit at the back end.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Again, he also came in where Quetta Gladiators were in a bit of a spot of bother, and to put together a partnership with Hassan Nawaz. And at one point, he became the aggressor. Really clean striking, very good off the back foot as he is picking up length. But even that shot, very strong with the wrist and important runs for that total.
Yeah, they're a rare commodity tonight, 100%. But we are off to one last break here in the Pitchside studio. Do stay around, though, because we have a little bit more excitement for you on the other side. So don't turn off yet. Stick with us just a little longer.